Speaking of toxicas, though.
Yes.
Because we are
Yes,
a lot
you
of
are.
times.
A lot.
I'm gonna share this video. It's in Spanish, but we can share because we have a lot of our Spanglish out there. ¿Cómo saber si yo soy la persona tóxica? How do you know that you're the toxic person?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because we always say it's somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
¿Cómo podemos darnos cuenta si nosotras o nosotros somos las personas tóxicas en nuestra relación?
Uno, me siento fatal si el otro se aleja, no sé dónde está, no se reporta cada minuto. Necesito un permanente saber dónde estás y que me digas todo porque si no siento una inseguridad terrible. Dos, necesito controlar tus amistades, tus actividades, cómo te vistes, con quién te llevas, porque si no me siento insegura. Tres, quiero que me adivines. Me molesto porque no se te ocurrió esto, no me preguntaste. Cuatro, hablo mal de tu gente. Me caen mal tus amigos, me caen mal tus papás, me estoy quejando todo el día de la gente que tú aprecias o de tu trabajo o de lo que disfrutas. Cinco, tiendo a la conflictividad. Fácilmente me ofendo porque no me hiciste caso, me dejaste sola mucho tiempo, tus amistades parece que no les caigo bien. Otra cosa, la necesidad de que me confirmes rápidamente sí o no a cosas que a lo mejor tú tienes que organizar porque si no, pienso que no te importa. Darme el permiso de opinar de todo lo tuyo sin preguntarte si puedo opinar algo de tus papás, opinar algo de lo que pasó en la reunión de tus amigos, meterme a invadir tu vida de una manera fuera de lugar y celar tus relaciones, que me genera inseguridad el hecho que tú tengas una vida en la que yo no forme parte de esa vida. Es que no soy lo más importante de tu vida. Qué maravilla que tenga muchas cosas importantes en su vida y que tú seas una parte importante de su vida. Ahora, no te pela, no te habla, bueno, es otra cosa. Pero la necesidad de sobrecentralidad y de no dejar espacios son señales de que estoy siendo demasiado demandante, demasiado insegura, demasiado posesiva.
Woo, girl,
Ooh, that's a
you
lot,
were on a
Toxica.
roll there. I'm counting how many Rocio. I was like,
Wow.
I was like, how many of these flight of Rocio? I was like, wow, dude.
A ver, tell me what's really on your mind, Richard.
I gotta make sure you check in every time, wherever you're at every
Just
moment.
trying to make
Eso-
sure you're safe.
So eso no es tóxico. That I just want to know that you're okay. Exactly, Gabby. Thank you. I just
yes.
want to make sure
I
you're
got you.
safe. Irvin?
What do you think? What do you think of all that?
No, you know
Help.
what? She gave a really great list of like symptoms, right? Like
Of toxic.
of toxic, right? Like if you have a cold, you sneeze, you have a runny nose, those are symptoms, right? So same, these are symptoms of a toxic person. If I could just boil it down to what her point was, is it's someone who has personal issues, insecurities that they haven't dealt with, and they're forcing another person to help stabilize them, to help them like be okay. Why? She's always checking on them. She's unhappy, and her happiness is now her partner's job, or his partner's job, whoever it is, right? So these are just people that are having personal problems that they're not working on it, and they're forcing other people to pick up the slack for them. So that's something that I see really often, if I'm being honest with you.
Really?
So you mean they have other issues, but they're just displaying them in this format?
Yep.
Meaning the need for me to know exactly where you're at all times it's a bigger issue. Like
Yes.
when I was a kid, I had this trauma. Maybe I was abandoned. Maybe this happened, but I haven't discussed that with anybody. So I've been carrying this trauma, and now I'm reflecting that on my partner.
Of course.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of projection.
Yeah.
Why are
Yes.
you looking at me?
Because you were left outside of your house, abandoned. Remember?
my
Tell me the
gosh.
story
Couple
when they
times.
brought you in. They brought you in. They told your mom, "Cuida su niña, cuida su niña."
I
Señora."
was 3 years old.
Exactly. Liz, trauma does not have age. I want you to know this. Trauma can happen
They
at
didn't
2
leave
years
me
old and 3 years
outside.
old.
I
Rocio
wasn't
left,
a
let's be
puppy. I
honest.
left.
Okay.
I was a 3-year-old, and my mom was looking for me inside the house.
And she wandered
And
out.
we were living in like a big street, like by a big street, and I wandered out, and I was cleaning the little lights on the street, the little reflector lights,
On the street, the middle lane.
and some
Why?
man picked me up, and luckily he took me to the right house, and he didn't kidnap me, and he just kind of took me to my mom and said, "Take care of your mom, kid." And my mom was like mortified because she had been looking for me. And I was just, left outside. And then, I mean, a couple times I got left at the school.
See? This is what I'm talking about. This is the trauma I'm talking about.
Not that
needs to be
bad.
Not that bad.
Urban.
So that's what you're saying. These symptoms that,
Yes.
that people are showing is because of trauma they maybe had in the past that they need to work out.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in that. That a lot of the stuff comes from your parents usually, because they're your first teachers. They teach you everything. What does it mean to be a man, a woman, a marriage? How do you deal with conflict? Do you walk away? Do you disrespect your partner? Like, what is it you do? You're learning from your parents usually. And so whatever happened to you with them, like in her case, right, if there's like a lot of neglect or abandonment or anything like that, it's going to rear its head in your relationship if you don't deal with it.
But it also gets heightened, right, with your partner.
Yeah.
I mean, if your partner's not doing a good job to make you feel safe or make you feel like, hey, look, I get it. You have to know where I am all the time. But look, just trust me. Like, or if he's like doing shady stuff or he takes off his location. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
You
Richard.
know, Richard. No, I'm just kidding.
I never take it out.
He's like, what do you do?
I'm gonna lose my phone.
Exactly. If you lose your phone.
Oh my gosh, that's evil.
Right. I'm just saying, like, if you do these things and then you know your wife or your husband's telling you like what's going on, like, I mean, that doesn't help either. So, right?
Yeah.
This is so depressing, you guys.
Why?
Just because you're talking about me.
No, both of
Deal with
us.
your trauma.
I'm talking about me and Gabby
Just
here.
go and get fixed.
We're going to watch a video. It's the first video on co-parenting. And this is really interesting. I don't know if you've ever seen something like this before, so I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys now.
I used to pack my son's bag and food when he would go with his dad on the weekends. So I always felt like I wanted my son to have everything he needed when I wasn't there. So when he goes with his dad on the weekends, I was like, here's this, and that, including food, right? And then my husband was like, you need to stop doing that. And I was like, no, I don't want my son to not have anything that he needs. And he was like, no, his dad will figure it out. That's his job. Like, you shouldn't be packing anything. He should have everything that he needs over there. And I was like, you know what, fine. So it was hard for me, but I stopped and I told my son's dad, I'm not going to pack anything. You need to have everything over there for him. Sure enough, he bought everything he needed. He had socks, underwear, clothes. I wasn't sending any more food. And I'm glad that I stopped because I just thought that I was going to have to do that for the rest of my life.
So what is she saying, right? I think I would be one of those moms, to be honest.
You are that mom. What do you mean? I think you would be that mom. You are that mom, even if we're still.
But I'm not
even
separated from you.
No, but you would still pack it. Going, I don't
I
know if
would.
Rich is gonna feed her.
I
I don't
know.
know if he's gonna give her the food.
Irvin, have you had any parents talk about like the nutrition of their kids, or just general problems like that where they, want to overcompensate for their kid because they don't know? I mean, they don't trust them as a husband. How can they trust them as a dad, or a mom?
Yeah, no, it happens a lot, and I'll be honest, that's one of the hardest things when working with the family. It's usually this. It's the dad is either uninvolved or not really involved, and mom is overly involved to overcompensate. And the hard part is telling her, like, you need to, because the wife or the mom gets resentful of the partner, right? The baby daddy or whoever it is, and I'm telling them, you're resentful because you're doing everything and complaining about it. You need to start putting some responsibility on the other person. And that's hard for people that are super conscientious, meaning they're like want to take care of everything, because they get a little bit controlling and don't want to let it go. And teaching them to just start letting stuff go, let the other person, and look, they're going to mess up. They're going to do it wrong the first couple times, but let them build up the skill and they'll eventually get good at it. But it's that controlling nature of like, no, I don't want to trust this other person with my kid. And I get it. It's hard, right? But that's where some of the growth comes.
Oh, I see you, Gabby. I see you. I saw a little smirk.
All right. Well, this is my opinion.
Okay.
No, hold on.
I'm scared. That's why I didn't want to go to you real quick.
I want to hear what
This is why Richard and I will never separate.
Yeah. I want to see the expert here. Explain this to me, because all I'm saying is, why don't you just ask me? I'm not an idiot. Why don't you say, hey, here's a list of things that he likes. Can you make sure you have them ready for him when he gets over there? Not a problem. Why don't you just make me a list, text me and say, hey, make sure he eats. This is what he likes. If you want to make sure I got it, I got it. Just send me a list. We're not idiots, but you're stressing out and you're getting all this stuff and you're packing all that stuff in there and you haven't even asked me. You haven't even said, hey, can you swing by the store before I send them over this weekend and so he can have these things because he likes these snacks?
What if they don't have that conversation, that type of communication?
This is not about them. This is about the kid being healthy. Be eating right? This is what we're talking about. So why aren't you just asking me? Why is it so hard for you to just ask? That's the reason you're divorced. You didn't communicate.
See how aggressive he gets?
No, he's aggressively rational.
He's passionate.
Yes.
He's passionate.
He's passionate about this
Just,
topic.
it's because I feel like he's not an idiot. I had to pack all this stuff because my husband,
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Like to make sure they don't starve.
Also, as a mom, I think she'd probably be like, I just want to tell my kid I did that for you growing up. I always did it for you.
There you go. Maybe you just want to take that.
It's the Toxica in us.
Toxica.
It's the Toxica.
Yeah.
Gotta be honest, right?
That's true.
Gabby's just like, I'm just gonna
say, while I agree with Richard, but you are a rational man who would probably do that for your kid. But there's a lot of Debbie dads out there. I can speak myself. I didn't have that same relationship with Nate's biological dad. So, like, for me, I used to have to tell him, like, hey, he likes to eat this and that. He would literally tell me, like, it doesn't matter. He eats whatever I feed him here, which was bad food. It was terrible. Like, Nate hated going over there. So at the age of, I think, was it 10, he just stopped going because Nate was like, I don't want to go. So, I mean, I wish that would have been the case. But, I mean, because I agree. I don't think dads are dumb. I definitely think that we stress over dumb stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
But, there are dads out there that don't.
You're right. I stand corrected. You're absolutely right. But at least give him the benefit of the doubt. Like if she would have started with, I asked him and he didn't do it, so now I had to do this. Do you understand?
Good
but
point.
he brought it up. The husband in the video, he brought it up. Why are you packing so much things? I got this. We have this. Do you understand? So it tells me that she never even gave him an opportunity.
No, it's her husband now telling
She's
her, why are you doing that for the dad?
The baby dad.
For the baby daddy.
Oh, okay, that's who.
So it's like if you and I, if I had like another baby daddy,
Yeah, I
you're
get
the
it,
one
I get it.
which I could see you doing that to me.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? Which I would be me.
Yeah.